There's a new show coming out,
Oh
and
no.
for people who are older, like you will remember Scooby Doo and the mystery van and stuff, and like
Mhm.
all that good stuff from when we were kids.
Oh.
But Velma now has got her own show, and
Everyone starts
well,
sighing immediately, like,
I,
no.
I just I wanted to show you a screen grab from it, I suppose. Like,
Oh God.
this is what it's gonna look like. This is
Yeah.
what Velma is now. So just in the little box here, you've got like how Velma and Daphne used to look, and
Mhm.
this is what they have become.
Yeah.
And it's written by Mindy Kaling, who, if you probably remember her as the most annoying character in The Office, and someone who did the Mindy Project, which was about as funny as She-Hulk, I would say.
Oh.
I should probably
It's
take
weird
this off,
because
actually.
I think maybe this is going to be an ordinary week, or maybe I'm going to have to like struggle to think a little bit about what I can make a video about, and then clang, here comes the thing that I can do. It's like being in the Blitz in London. Like there's a day of calm, and then there goes the air raid siren, and
Yeah.
to deal with.
What's worth mentioning, by the way, the whole Scooby Gang is in this show, except Scooby Doo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's not Shaggy. The,
That
the
is
black
not,
guy
that
is
is
not.
not Shaggy. But I love how
To be-
they made him a stoner loser, just like Shaggy from the original.
Wearing a
But
green
they're
shirt.
But yeah, but they wanted to like smash stereotypes by making him a black man. It's like, do you not see the optics of this? Like, come on.
That's the
This
funniest
can't be
thing.
good.
It's
Does he
gone
help them
full
break
circle
into
because-
houses and steal stuff too? That'd be helpful.
Yeah. It's like, why are you doing this?
Because what they've done is they've gone all the way around in a circle where they've turned him into the kind of black side comedy character that you used to have, that was dated now, that they used to have in the 80s or 90s. where, like,
Yes.
Damon Wayans would play that character.
Yeah.
And his lines would be like I was saying before, like, this is not going to happen to me today, or
Oh,
say
hell no.
what, or damn, would be that character.
Yeah.
So they've actually tried to empower the character by making it diverse, but they've taken it back 20 or 30 years to that old trope and stereotype. So dumb.
So essentially, like from what I gathered from this trailer, like Velma is now a black lesbian, and yeah, Shaggy is now a black stoner.
And Daphne
really,
is vaguely Asian with red hair.
Vaguely
yeah.
Asian, that sort of thing, yeah.
and there's kind of an implication of a romance there, and I'm just like, oh god, why
That's
does it
just
have
funny,
to be
though.
this? Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to just like ruin everything? Like the Scooby Doo show from when we were kids was just a bunch of goofy arseholes who went around in a van and solved mysteries. It was tongue in cheek, it was cheesy, it was fun, that was all it was. We didn't waste time on like wondering about the character's sexuality. We didn't worry about like the patriarchy or oppression or any of this other absolute garbage that like everything that we make now has to be laden with. And it was better for it. It was just fun. This looks horrific. And it's not even funny. Like, based on that trailer, it was about the same level of funniness as She-Hulk. Probably less so.
Guy was.
You know what my first association was Star Trek Lower Decks, the same kind of animated
art style.
thing with, yeah,
that Cal
same
Arts
same
bullshit.
dumb
Yeah,
attempt at
Cal
humor,
Arts.
same sort of self-deprecating, snarky characters. Fred, by the way, now is a complete narcissist. for some
Of course he
bizarre
is,
reason.
yeah. And I bet he's dumb as fuck as well. Because
Yeah.
of course
Well,
he
we-
has to be.
We did see him like knock over a brick wall onto himself and Velma, and which should have killed them. And that would probably be better if they just died right then and the show was over forever.
His like first line in the trailer is he can't see people who aren't hot or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny though.
Well, I mean,
It's
Velma
absolutely
walks up- I
true
don't-
as well. But
I don't see people who aren't hot.
it just tells you like, oh, that's what they're going to be making Fred. That's going to be as far as it goes.
It reminds me of this dude I went to high school with. His name was Thor, and he was huge. And this hot chick walked up to him, and he just turned and walked away from her. Like she was talking, and he fucked off. He didn't say anything. And I was like, dude, what was that all about? And he goes, she has fat girl potential.
is she like a grenade? You know, someone's just waiting to pull the pin.
Yeah, it's like, damn. That's what Fred reminded me of in the trailer. I was like, oh shit, fat girl potential Velma.
But the thing is, like, you could probably have fun with that, but it's like they won't play it that way. They'll play him as just like a complete idiot that you're meant to like make fun of.
Right, you're supposed to hate him instead of thinking this is endearing.
Yeah, exactly.
He was ahead of his time in the original series, ahead of his time with that metrosexual scarf that he would rock. Remember that?
Well, that was the 70s, man. I mean, that was just anything went back then, didn't it?
Hell yeah.
But now I wonder, like, who on earth is this pitched at? Because I genuinely don't understand.
Can I just say though, the memes to me are just funny because oftentimes we'll say like, "Oh, new vision of thing is coming out. Oh, I guess that thing will be a black lesbian." That's like the joke.
Yeah, and it's like literally is.
Like they have actually realized the meme. Like Velma, Velma is a black lesbian now. You're like, what?
The thing is, if the four of us had sat around for an hour and facetiously tried to come up with a modern interpretation of what this would be the thing we would come up with. It's so strange.
Apparently, it's a cravat, not a scarf. You make
it even more of a red flag, I think.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Velma doesn't know that either. If it's not flannel, she's not familiar.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? If we were just joking around and saying, well, obviously let's make her black, and obviously she's super empowered and she speaks in a snarky kind of pert kind of way, and then obviously she's got to be in a lesbian romance with the girl, let's make her Asian, and then Shaggy, let's make him black. Like everything we would do to be facetious is actually what's come up in reality without irony.
Yeah.
Well, they make it harder and harder to parody it. You're like, oh, we gotta go further. She'll be disabled and alien or something.
Yeah. It's like she'll be quadriplegic by the end of the first season, I guess. But like,
do you think replacement Shaggy is gonna have like a black hood best friend that he calls dog named Scooby? Like is that how they're gonna play that? Like it's not gonna be an actual dog. It'll be like his metaphorical dog.
Well, I'm personally outraged that there's no Latino representation in the show. So they need to step back from the conversation and reflect on why they didn't do that.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm furious that there's no like drunk Scottish representation.
Yeah, we're the Welsh people. We're the long people.
Yeah.
It's like if we can't see people who look, talk, and act exactly like us, then we can't identify with them. That's the rule nowadays. So yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, I can't identify with any of the characters they just presented to me. So I mean, I guess that's partly true, but it has nothing to do with their looks or ethnicities. It's all just the shit writing.
I mean, is this going to be pitched at like people of our age who remember the original Scooby Doo? It's like, hey, it's a trip down memory lane, but everything's shit now. Like that's the selling point.
Like the like it looks pretty violent, right? Like that chick with no brain, like her head is laying open, dripping blood.
Yeah.
Daphne's naked in the background. I mean, she's got suds on her tits, but it's like, what age group is this? I was watching the trailer with my wife and her friend. We're sitting there, and I'm looking at my stupid phone. But watching this thing, I'm like, oh, I have to watch this for the show I'm going on. And so we're like,
Trinker made me do it.
They're just asking, they're like, what is this for? Like, who is this? I don't know who it's for. Like, I can't figure that out. It's on HBO. I don't know what that even means anymore, but it's like not
my timeline or cause and effect, I think, is there's an army now of girls who were not the most pretty or beautiful in high school, quite intelligent. They weren't quite socially cool. And now they've grown up to become this mass army of screenwriters who are now creating these characters who are very evocative of that time, who are kind of snarky, clever, not the pretty one. And you see this character is sort of recurring. It's kind of a wine momish kind of thing now, blended with that. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek, kind of self-deprecating, but also trying to be empowering at the same time, in a weird kind of muddle. And I don't know who it's pitched at. Is it supposed to be for like 15-year-old girls to feel like sassy and empowered when they watch it? Is that the deal?
No, I think Fire at Will's got it.
Yeah, it's like I think it's literally just for the people who wrote this. It's like they're projecting all their hang-ups onto it. And I kid you not, man, it's the same fucking story as She-Hulk, where it's like I'm mid-30s, I live alone with my cats, I'm depressed, like all I have is my job. I've got nothing in my life that's got any kind of like long-term worth.
Well, The Office was probably peak, right? For her.
Yeah, and it's like, but I need to like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a character that's exactly like me, but have her be amazing, and so that's going to make me feel better about myself, and that's like pretty much the mindset behind.
Oh wait, this is for wine moms. Shit, it'll fly well in my locals chat then. Perfect. That's great. It'll be perfect for my locals chat. We'll all watch it.
No.
Yeah, like I do have to ask, like, was Mindy Kaling ever fucking funny? Because
No.
like she was annoying in the office, and then I saw a little bit of the Mindy Project because I was kind of curious, and I was like, nope, that's awful. Like it's like about as funny as a cancer diagnosis. And now you've got this, and I'm like, how does she keep getting work? Like, who keeps hiring her, and why?
The funniest
So
thing she ever
everyone's
did.
just like, no, she wasn't. Nope, nope, nope.
The funniest thing in the office with her was when they were playing that game where they had to wear like an ethnicity on their forehead on a
That
post-it
joke's
note,
amazing.
and the other people had to like act it out, and she got Indian, and Michael Scott was doing like the most offensively Indian impression ever, and she just slaps him. But it wasn't funny for her, it was funny because of him doing the impression. It was just fucking
Yeah.
great.
Well, so I just checked. Apparently, she wrote 2 episodes of The Office. So they're both in season 1, which is the least popular season, right? Except for the last one.
Yeah, because that's when they hadn't quite figured out the characters, and Michael Scott was like a totally different person. Yeah, all that stuff.
Unless this is something else. Oh, wait, The Office.
Most of the Office actors were the writing staff.
Oh, my
Like they-
bad. I was reading the wrong thing. She wrote 26 episodes of The Office, apparently.
What the fuck? Really?
And that
Probably
stretches from season 1 to 8. She had several.
A contributing
Okay.
writer or the sole writer on those credits?
Some of these come across as though she was the sole writer, potentially. I'd have to check in more in depth. But yeah, I'm not familiar with her work that much. Well, I watched all of The Office, but I don't know which ones were her or how much she is the reason for them being strong or whatever. But she's also got like 4 weddings and a funeral. I didn't see that. The Sex Lives of College Girls. Oh, God.
That sounds like it could be a good movie, but it's not.
You know how
Right.
that sort of stereotype that like female comedians can only ever do like about like a routine about sex and relationships. Well, like,
Here's the issue. Fuck, where was I going with this? Damn it, I lost it. Never mind. I'll figure it out.
it's alright. That happens to me all
It
the
doesn't
time.
matter.
The only way I think where they could make it more for modern audiences than it already is if they had an ancillary character who is neurodivergent and is kind of judged for it, but actually turns out to be the one who solves the crime because they think in
Yep.
different ways that other people don't. That's the only furthest.
Well, well, they're missing a trans character.
That's true. Yeah.
That's
They'll have one. They'll have one, I'm sure. Oh, I thought of it though. Does it ever occur to these people that not every smart female character was actually a snarky, sarcastic asshole? Like,
no, it doesn't.
if there's and the one that did it right was Daria. Someone mentioned Daria back in the 90s or whatever. Daria was great, but like ever since Daria, it's like any smart female, particularly young character, has to be like sassy and sarcastic. It's like that.
Yeah.
No, not all smart chicks were sassy and sarcastic. Some of them are just smart, and like not. They didn't have to be specially interesting. And Velma was not like as snarky. I mean, she would have occasional stuff, but she was just the smart nerdy chick, and that was fine.
Yeah.
She
I
would
think-
lose
yeah,
her
that was it,
glasses.
like-
That was one of the
Yeah.
main things that happened. She would drop her glasses.
Yeah, but it's like they each had kind of a role, like or a niche within the group, and yeah, like her thing was like she kind of knew about scientific stuff, and like she was just like like you say, the nerdy one who could puzzle things out in a more intellectual way, but she wasn't
Right.
perfect, and yeah, like I don't know why you would feel the need to make her the focal point of a narrative. Like she's not that interesting as a character, and it's kind of terrifying that
Because he's overlooked.
if
That's why he's
IGN.
the-
If IGN gave this show 6 out of 10, it's literally a 2 out of 10 in real person terms because that's
So the show is
Yeah.
pitched as a love quadrangle. So they're all Shaggy is got a crush on Velma.
Oh.
Velma's got a crush on Daphne. Daphne has a complicated relationship, it says, with Velma, and Velma's got a crush on Fred. So it's a quadrangle.
you see what I mean
And
about
Fred
like,
has a crush
why-
on Shaggy.
Yeah,
No one's got a crush on.
but who's got a crush on Scooby? That's what I want to know.
That'd be Daphne.
Naughty Fairy does.
But it's like why does any of this stuff have to come into it? Like why do we care about like the sexuality and the like whatever each of these characters are attracted to? Like, why is that important to a show like this? It's just
They lost
like,
the idea that all of that was just, it was all subtext. Like everyone was kind of in on the jokes of it in the original. Like you knew Fred and Daphne were together. Like that was a thing in the original
It was
one.
implied, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's implied. And then you get the idea that Velma's like always kind of like interested in Fred a little bit just because he's the handsome, charismatic leader type. Like he's the alpha in the room, even though he wore an ascot or whatever. But they didn't have to say anything about it. It wasn't the main focal point of the show. It didn't matter. It was just ancillary to everything. And that, again, like that can be fine. Like doesn't mean we all want a show about Velma's love interests. Actually, I don't know that anybody asked for this anywhere on Earth.